Okay, Renee's comment, which is quite often it's difficult for parents to hear a lowball offer, mainly because they've been calculating in their heads the needs of their child for life. That is a great comment. And if you want to know what she's talking about, click her question and it'll go back to a video which I just shot yesterday, in which I was talking about the process of mediation when a baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury like HIE, and you went forward with the birth injury case, you filed, and now you're trying to get the case mediated or settled or settlement happening. So that's what she's getting at. But I want to talk about her question also in the context of that aspect of the families sitting there calculating and trying to get an idea of, okay, what will we need moving into the future? And this is a good segue as to the types of experts that birth injury attorneys like myself that we use when we are looking to figure out that damages aspect when a baby has suffered a traumatic brain injury. Now, in general, there are going to be four basic elements when we're talking about negligence, because essentially a medical malpractice case or a birth injury case, it is a negligence case. And one of the elements that we have to look into is called damages. And for our context, the easiest way to understand damages, that's going to be the harm that is done. So it could either be the birth injury, it could be the injury itself, it could be also future medical needs, the cost of future medical care, the cost for past medical care, lost wages, all of these types of things, they are going to fall in that category of damages. And as a birth injury attorney, when we are looking to do these cases and to help families move forward with these cases, we can't just take into consideration what is happening right now today. We have to also look into the future. We have to also kind of project out, what is this baby going to need moving into the future? And that kind of dovetails back into Renee's comment, in that the parents, a lot of times families, they're thinking ahead. One of the cases that we just was able to resolve for a family, the mom had a small car, okay? So when her baby was born, her baby has a traumatic brain injury, and she has a small car. And so as time has went on, it took a couple of years to get through this case. And when we got through with everything, the child has grown. And because the child has a disability, then of course, yes, there's still going to, a car seat and things like that are still going to be needed, but mom is still sitting here in this small car. So she knows that as time goes, she's got to get a bigger car because she can't move her baby around in this small car. And so when we are helping families, there are professionals that we use called certified life care planners. These are professionals, and they can be from a variety of disciplines, and nurses can become life care planners, physicians, rehabilitation counselors, among other types of professions. They can become what we call certified life care planners. And these life care planners, they have special knowledge, and they understand not only disability, but they also can understand vocational and career aspects of things. So what these certified life care planners, what they can do is they are able to review the medical records, they're able to spend time with the family, they're able to look and see not only what the family needs right now, but they can also predict, or they try to project out, I should say project out, they try to project out all of the types of things that the child and the family is going to need into the future. So going back to my example about one of our previous clients who had a smaller car, of course, what's got to be included in the life care plan for this family is they're going to need a bigger vehicle. They're going to need more than likely a van. It's going to have, it's going to have seats that can fold down. It's going to be able to have lifts for wheelchairs. It's going to have automated doors. All of these types of things, that's got to be taken into consideration for the life care plan. Not only cars, let's talk about housing. I'm going to go back to the client that we just had. At their house, they had steps kind of coming up to the front of the house. Well, if you've got a baby with a traumatic brain injury and they need wheelchairs, then obviously steps, that's going to be a problem. So again, the life care planner is going to look at these things, take that into consideration. Those steps, they got to go. Or depending on how the house is set up, you may just need a whole new house. So all of these types of things will be included in the life care plan. And it's not just these types of things. Medical care is going to be needed. Like, if the child is going to need wheelchairs for the rest of their life, well, wheelchairs have certain types of lifespan. So you can't just have one wheelchair forever. You're going to have to be able to get more as time goes on. So once we take into consideration the projected lifespan of the child, the needs of the child, and then you put the economic piece together with it, with an economist to kind of predict out how much all of this is going to cost over the life of the child, that is how, as birth injury attorneys, we're able to try to help these families be able to project out what is going to be needed in the future for this child. Because it's not just enough to look at for today. The child may become 20 years old, 30 years old, 40, 50, 60. We've got to look all the way. We've got to be able to project all the way out to be able to help families. Now, there's another piece of this, and I'm not going to get too deep into that today because it's on a whole different trajectory. But we also use things like special needs trusts, and these types of instruments, certain states require. Like if you're in a state here in Maryland, you're going to put a special needs trust together for these types of cases, but other states may also have these types of rules too, and these special needs trusts are there to protect the child's money, to be able to make sure that that money is being spent for the child and for their benefit, to allow them to be able to live the best life that they can possible moving into the future.